Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV, where of course on a weekly basis we take a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Big thanks of course to our partners Score Energy Drinks. You can win yourself a case of Score during the course of the show. We're also going to be talking to you about the Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens that's coming up. It's playing out over 3 weeks and that's very exciting. I know many people are very excited about the fact that Sevens are back. And of course MChem 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. Coming up on the show tonight, we're going to be catching up with Nazim Adams. Speaking about Sevens, Western Province Rugby is, of course, hosting their Sevens coaching courses, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to get involved with coaching at Sevens if you want to start coaching some Sevens rugby. We're also going to the DHL Western Province Rugby Under-20 side. They're, of course, now heading towards the final that is coming up this weekend. So that's super exciting. And this weekend we also went out to Kraaifontein, who are playing against Belleville. And we'll show you some of the match interviews and some of the highlights. And of course, as you know, a lot of clubs are busy training at the moment. We go down to Delft this week. And for those of you that are not aware, the Western Province Rugby Under-15s, boys and girls, had to go to trials last week against Boland and SVD in preparation for their summer games, which comes up later in the year. So tonight we're also going to bring you an interview with Azipele Manetsane, the YTC coordinator, who can tell us a little bit more about how the trials went and where they're going to be going next. But on the line with me now, Nazim Adams, Western Province Rugby Education, going to tell us a little bit more about the upcoming Sevens coaching course. Nazim, nice to have you back. How are things there with you, man?
Thanks, JP. Good to be back. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but I know we only had you on the show probably about 3 months ago before one of the lockdown levels, but you guys have been very busy with education behind the scenes.
Yeah, JP, we have quite a number of courses right throughout the year. Obviously, the next one we're focusing on is on the 19th of November. We have a Sevens course coming up, and that link up with our Sevens tournaments that we're going to have. So we'll encourage the coaches to please, when you're available, to come and do the Sevens course.
Before we talk too much about Sevens, Nazim, because obviously that's the buzzword at the moment, everyone's talking Sevens rugby. Just give for the folks that have never, or watching you for the first time now, when you talk about education at rugby level, there's of course many different aspects. Coaching and how to coach a team is just one of those aspects.
Yeah, JP, we are doing the World Rugby Level 1, Level 2. That's both in Sevens and in 15-man rugby. Then we also have the SNC course, Level 1 and Level 2. It's important for our coaches to do these courses because Level 1 is an entry level. Yeah. You can, to do your normal coaching in Level 2, you can coach on a higher level, even at provincial level.
So just before we go any further, when we talk about SNC, what does that stand for? SNC.
That's for strength and conditioning, and we need that. That is something that very few coaches is doing, and that is a need in our clubs to focus on our conditioning to get us ready for rugby. And in Level 1 you will do all the basics in terms of getting players ready to perform at a level.
Does that mean you teach strength and, because as we know today, rugby teams have got a manager, a coach, a physio, a backline coach, a forwards coach. One of the newer elements in rugby in the last few years has been the introduction of strength and conditioning coaches. Does that mean that you, as the strength and conditioning coach, you look at things like gym work and how to strengthen what are the kind of things a strength and conditioning coach will do?
Yeah, strength and conditioning coach, especially when you focus on your pre-season and to get people or the players ready for rugby. In terms of the strength, that was all tied in prevention of injuries. You're physically ready to do the rugby, and that is something that we neglect. When we start our coaching sessions, we normally go straight into the rugby instead of focusing on getting the players physically ready for the sport.
So there was I recall a few months ago when the clubs were looking at starting fixtures again, SA Rugby and Western Province Rugby instructed teams that they first had to spend 4 or 8 weeks getting players ready before any fixture. Did that sort of tie in with strength and conditioning, making sure that they were ready to play?
100%. We're getting a return to play. That was all those protocols. Basically, it was our S&C coaches. They drive that program, getting them ready. And those are what we need from our S&C coaches. It's not necessarily your head coach is doing that, but it's your S&C coaches that's doing that.
I must say, one of the things that I've always liked about strength and conditioning coaches at a club is that it actually provides an additional opportunity in addition to rugby. You can get moms and dads coming down to the field, and there'll be a strength and conditioning coach there to help you with a little fun run or some fitness session or a boot camp session on the field. You could be as creative as you want under the guidance of a qualified fitness coach at a club. Actually a great employment opportunity.
No, 100%. The problem is this, if you're not qualified, you can easily do more harm or more damage than good to a player. You know, all those techniques, how to stretch, how to get you ready for physical activities. It's important to do that.
Yeah. So, folks, if you are watching the show right now, I've got Nazim Adams, Head of Education at Western Province Rugby, on the show with me. And there's a little tip for you. If you're a personal trainer or a strength and conditioning trainer, start some boot camp activity at your field. Get the neighborhood fit. Get everybody involved and tell them to come for a fitness session. But anyway, we'll leave that topic for another day. Nazim, let's talk a little bit about the sevens now. Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens coming up in the next few weeks. This is the big buzzword right now, sevens rugby. And it's the perfect time for anybody who's interested in sevens to actually start coaching sevens. And you've got a sevens course coming up now on the 19th of November.
Yeah, that's right. I will encourage all the coaches, obviously, to attend those courses or to apply to attend those courses. JP, it's important that our coaches are qualified to do that. Sevens is big all over the world. I mean, it's Olympic sport. There's World Cup sevens. There's a seven series all over the world. Even the smaller nations, they perform in sevens. And it's an opportunity for a lot of our clubs and our players to perform and to get onto the big stage.
And it's also available for folks that have never coached before. They can come and join the course also?
100%. Look, level 1 is an entry level. So you'll do the basics. It's just you'll guarantee to get a certificate because it's an attendance course, but it will prepare you for to doing and going further up and doing your level 2 so that you can coach at the provincial level as well.
And I'm assuming that if people want to do the sevens course, they can just reach out to Western Province Rugby or to their club, and their club can tell them how to sign up.
Yeah, those information is available. It has been sent to the clubs, and it's also on all the platforms. So if they're interested, they can even mail me, and I'll give them the necessary information how to apply and attend the course.
Nazim, you've got a level 2 15s course coming up a little bit later in the year, and in fact on the 12th of November and then again in December. Tell us a little bit about level 2 15s and who that's for and what's involved.
Look, JP, all those coaches that has done their level 1 and they've coached for 1 year, they qualify to do level 2. There's very few level 2 courses during the course of a year. So I will encourage those coaches that has done the level 2, that has done the level 1 to apply to do the level 2. Look, when you do your level 2, the first part, there's 2 parts. The first part is you attend the course and it's over 2 days. And after that, you'll need to coach for a season, and then you'll need to do your practicals, and then you will have your qualification.
Is there a big jump between level 1 and level 2?
Yeah, it's quite a big jump. Level 2 is quite more detailed and is more practical, and we covered basically all the aspects of coaching. So there is quite a big jump. And obviously, we also do your practicals, where we will come out and assess you for a full training session. You will also require to do a 6-week or a 6-game match diary. So it is quite intense.
Nazim, is there a level at which compliance become, or level 2 is a criteria? For example, if you want to coach the Springboks, you must have a minimum of a level 2 or a level 3. If you want to coach, is there a sort of a level that of coaching that one can attach a level 2 to?
Yes, JP, there is nowadays a head coaches at higher levels, but it is so that if you want to coach a provincial team, you'll need to have at least a level 2. Also, if you want to be a head coach, I would suppose of a big club, you'll need to have a level 2. And obviously, after that, if you perform well, you can also do your level 3, although that is by invitation only.
Nazim, we're looking forward to a lot more coaches coming through the ranks. We'll be catching up with you again then soon.
Thanks, JP, and especially this time of the year is an ideal opportunity. Hopefully next year we will be back to normal and can have our club rugby back on track. So if we can do our accreditation and get our levels now, we'll be ready by next year.
There we go, folks. Nazim Adams, the head of coaching education at Western Province Rugby. And as he said, the Sevens coaching courses are open. So if you are at the very least interested in Sevens rugby and you want to coach a Sevens team, then get signed up. Just reach out to Western Province Rugby or to your club and say, you want to sign up, have you got the details, the entry form? I know Western Province Rugby has got a very versatile entry form. You can choose the course you want to do, you choose the dates that you want to do, and they of course then respond pretty much immediately. Folks, so looking forward to that then. Sevens courses coming up on the 19th of November. Then there's of course the level 2 courses on the 12th of November and the 10th of December. And also don't forget about those strength and conditioning courses. We need more fitness people out there. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. It's great to have you along. And of course, as you know, we keep talking club rugby. A lot of our club rugby players, of course, in the DHL West Province Rugby under 20 side. This is the big weekend. They now go into the finals at Emirates Park against the Lions. This is what they've been working for. And we've been following their progress all along. We're super proud of the boys. And we go to Newlands, where we catch up with the guys behind the scenes as they prepare for this big weekend.
Yeah, it's like, yes, it's up and downs obviously, but yeah, it's been a great test. You know, the boys went out there, we did the things, now we're in the finals. So yeah, it's been a good tournament. I mean, yeah, I know like a lot of people didn't expect us like to win again against them because we already played them and whatnot. But us, we didn't listen to anyone, we just put the heads down. We did the work during that week. It was like a hard week for us. You know, we were getting ready for them. We practiced, made sure everything is proper, and like we just believed in ourselves. We knew we were gonna win. We didn't care about what other people say. We didn't care about what other people think. You know, it was just us in the circle, and then we knew what we had to do, and then we just executed, and then everything went as well. I mean, say it's like, for me, it's really like an honor. I never knew that like I would ever step in this ground, let alone play in this place. So like, for me, it's really like a huge honor. I used to sit there on the scholars, you know, like watch the guys, the big boys play, and even though I would watch them and I would still play rugby, I never imagined me actually being on the field, and like, it still feels like a dream for me, you know. I'm just like taking it as it comes, enjoying every little moment. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a well-deserved rest. Like after the game, that game was really tough, and a few boys that they are like little needles and injuries and what's not. Some gents were sick, so I feel like it did actually help because we came back Monday, everyone is looking fresh, we tested, everyone is like negative, everything is good. That means like the boys are disciplined, you know, and they did take the rest. So yeah, we're good. I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think compared to the way we started the competition and how we are ending it is quite good. We've built a lot of chemistry, a lot of combinations. I mean, a lot of the players from last year didn't really play any rugby, so it was kind of new to us in the beginning. So we're nicely coming together week in, week out, just building good relationships with each other. Yeah, it was very special, seeing that it was the first time there were some spectators also allowed. So just playing at Newlands is always a big privilege. We as a team, we really developed in the coming weeks. We knew how we could play, we showed the potential and the right way that we can play. So the score kind of really just shows the hard work that the team has been giving in and week out. And just like I said, the good combinations, having the confidence in the team, because each one kind of really brings that something special in the game. Yeah, I think this is a bigger step up, knowing that how we've played against them back a couple of weeks ago and how they've developed as a team. So we know it's going to really be tough going up there, playing at high altitude. And I know that seeing that it's the final, it's definitely going to be a big fight. I don't think it's going to really be a very big scoring game, especially with the physicality that we can bring and what they can also bring. So I think the boys are really excited. We just need to prepare well, and then on the day, whatever happens, happens.
Ja, ek dink as almal weet in die eerste game het ons gedraw teen die Leopards. Nou was obviously nog nie die ideale begin van die campaign nie, maar ek dink soos ons meer mekaar begin voel het, die relationships 'n bietjie gebou het ons baie beter begin speel. Almal het vir mekaar gerespekteer en dit het oorgedra op die veld. Soos ons is nog steeds aanbied tot by die final. Ja, ek speel eintlik nou weer saam baie van my graad 11 toe ek matriek was, wat baie lekker is. Paar van my vriende wat ek by Kruivenweek ook ontmoet het en verhoudings gebou saam hulle. So nee, ek dink dis maar net mense in die rugby wêreld is 'n klein wêreld, so jy ken so half so almal van mekaar. So dit was eintlik baie smooth toe ons weer begin gel het en dit was great om dit weer oor te dra op die veld. Ja, ek dink die hele toernooi was great om te sien die verskillende provinsies, hoe die verskillende provinsies hulle uitkyk op rugby en was baie goeie spanning. Die Leopards was goed, ons het gedroog teen hulle, die Sharks was goed om teen die EP bietjie EP toe te gaan en daar te gaan speel, was great, maar ek dink op een vandag is dit die twee beste spanne wat teen mekaar speel, albei aanbied en albei het groot scores opgesit in die semifinals en ek dink ons gaan dis die game waar ons soek al heel toernooi af voor en ek dink ons gaan net alles op die veld sit en dit daar los.
Yeah, no, look, obviously the boys are enjoying it a lot, just to basically be on the field and play with this game we love so much. And obviously playing with such good friends of mine also just makes it a lot better. The competition week in and week out is substantial, so that as well is just bettering our game, and in the essence of it creates a good, how can I say, competitive atmosphere for us to push ourselves in the week so that on the weekends we can just perform. But I think the boys are just really enjoying it. Look, I think we just take it game by game. We don't focus on the next game. Each game our coach tells us this week is the most important game. Every week is our final. So I think that Cheetahs game, you said it was a must win, but for us every single game was a must win. So we just focused on the task at hand. We put our best foot forward and we were just very happy with the result.
Invincible.
Yeah, look, obviously Province Blue Bulls is a very big derby. It's like since the beginning of time. And I think the boys were just really hungry for the game. Everybody wanted to get on the field and sort of just how could I say, quiet the haters and just make a name for some of the youngsters and then just, how could I say, have some fun on the field. And obviously, like you said, the score was, no one really suspected it, but I think in our hearts, all of us knew that this was going to be a big game. And like you said, for the Cheetahs, every game is a must win. For us, that Blue Bulls was a must win. So we all really wanted it. We went on the field and there wasn't an inch of doubt in anyone, and everybody just brought it, and I was just really, really proud of the boys. It being a final, but I think our team is just sticking with our same process. Like I said, every game was a must win, so this game is nothing different. We're just going to go through our same process, and our coach always says we don't focus on them, we focus on our own game.
we do what we can do best, and then Saturday, we just put our best foot forward and hopefully we get the result.
Our DHL Western Province Rugby under 20 side, then of course into the finals. The boys are excited, they're looking ready, and that's great stuff. So we wish them the very best of luck, and yeah, lots of hard work has obviously gone into preparing for this, and as I say, into the finals this coming weekend. Right, folks, well, as you know, on a weekly basis, we take a look at what's happening at MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy, and of course we do your public reviews, the reviews that you posted after you went to visit the pharmacy. Today's first review comes in from Astrid Gravener. She gave MChem a 5-star rating and said, open 24/7, large pharmacy, tons of variety, but the real treat is their nursing rooms. The most friendly nurses ever, happy to help, and they communicate things so honestly. It's refreshing. I had to take my baby there for jabs and was impressed by their care and compassion. Astrid Gravener, and then giving MChem a 5-star rating. And NLO Nats says, great for all your needs and medical requirements, including very friendly service. Of course, another 5-star rating. And Michelle Swart went on to say, friendly staff, very convenient, and big variety of products. And our final review comes in from Monique Rulofse. Also gave MChem a 5-star rating. She said, the staff are always very helpful. You never have to look around for assistance, and someone is always there to assist you before you even ask. MChem is like a medical supermarket. I could spend hours there. Well done, MChem. Keep it up. And that review comes in from Monique Rulofse. Great review. And folks, right, of course, in case you didn't know, a lot of students are, of course, at the moment preparing for university and looking to get their various vaccinations as they prepare to embark on their tertiary studies. And of course, a lot of these are, of course, medical students. Now, the good news for students is that you can get your vaccine at MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. The MChem clinics offer vaccines for hepatitis A and B, varicella, measles, mumps, rubella, tetanus, diphtheria, polio, pertussis, and of course meningitis. So MChem is of course open Monday until Sunday, and of course you can get there with no appointment if you need a vaccine from 8 a.m. through to 8 p.m. As I said, no appointment needed. Most convenient. You can't beat that for convenience. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. As always, great to have you along. Remember, we are, of course, on every Wednesday night from 9 o'clock through to 10 o'clock. And don't forget our repeat on Saturday mornings in case you missed it. Also, 9 in the morning. Right, of course, a lot of clubs are busy preparing for the SCORE Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. The SCORE Sevens is starting. It starts next week, Saturday, and it's fascinating to see how many teams have got involved. And of course, Delft Rugby Football Clubs is one of the teams that is participating, and they are preparing. We went behind the scenes to catch up with some of the boys as they get ready for the SCORE Club Sevens.
Het voelt soos niks beter nie. Afgelopen 2-3 jaar het man weer gesukkel met die COVID wat ingekom het. Maar ons is weer terug op die veld. Vandaag is de eerste keer dat we weer sevens bij elkaar gekomen. Dus we hebben nog een paar verenigingen gespeeld als een Barbarian team. Maar ja, we zijn uit naar die sevens toernooi. Ja, kijk, ons vonden het baie gemis. Maar als die James bij elkaar gekomen is, ze gaan die ritsapperen weer aan. Ze zijn een beetje vet geworden. Waar toe gaan jou kost en allemaal die dingen. Maar het is meer jongens ze moed is weer terug, want als rugby weer op het spel. En ja, we zien uit naar een nieuwe seizoen. Ja, nee, kijk, zowel als die honger daar is, als een man nog een beetje ontfokt zoekt. Zo mama kijkt naar die ook. Maar als we het maar op een strijd doen, of het maar oefensessie. En kijk, zoals vandaag is een oefensessie samen als een span. Maar we kunnen ook die papieren team waar we elkaar nog weer geleerd kennen en allemaal die dingen. Maar zoals ik zei, we moeten nu weer beginnen het als een span in. Dan denk ik, we gaan verder komen in de competitie. Ja, nee, kijk, voor die COVID, die mensen die leven voor gratis gehad. Van COVID is besef wat ze regtig in die lewe het. En rugby was een van die dinge van omdat op 'n Saterdag uitgesien na rugby toe vroegoggend opgestaan het tog af vir en almal die dinge. Maar vir 'n jaar of 2 kan dit nie gedoen het. Dis ook die game gemis. En die ouens is baie optimisties die oor die rugby. So baie van die ouens kom van ver af, kom loop veld toe, baie werk laat ook, maar hulle kom dan nog veld toe, wys maar net die liefheid vir die rugby.
Ja, die mannen is opgewonden. Hulle het altijd in die groep gevraagd. Wanneer is ons weer terug op die veld? Maar die mannen is baie excited om terug te wees op die veld. En honger. En hulle is dankbaar vir die geleentheid dat rugby nou weer terug is. En vir die 7's toernooi wat nou weer terug is. Ja, 'n Saterdag sonder rugby gaat baie swaar. Het gaat lang. Want die mannen is gewoond op 'n Saterdag is daar rugby. En soos ek sê, ons is amper 2 7 spanne. Is 'n kopkrap vir die coach. Want ons kan net 15 7's manne kies en net 12 kan speel. En soos jy sien, ons het self van die vaste 5 manne, hoe verander manne het ons ook hier op die veld. So ons weet nie waar om te kies. Ja. Soos ek sê, is 'n kopseer vir die coach as dit kom by kies. Ja, dit is voordelig. So die vaste 5 van die vaste 5 wat hier is, hulle gaan 'n stapie voor is vir die res van die vaste 5 en vir die backline ouens wat hier is. En die ouens sien ook uit, soos ek sê, hulle sien uit vir die 7's toernooi van in die groep wat ons ingedeel is, daar ook super A spanne en super B spanne. So die ouens is opgewonde om hulle te meet in die super A en B spanne. Ja, die belangstelling hier in Delft is groot, soos jy al weet, die geweld wat hier in Delft is. So ons as die senior ouens, ja, ook maar om die youngsters van die pad af te hou. So ons gee eers vir die youngsters die geleentheid.
Die manne is opgewonder. Die manne los hulle families by die huis en hulle offer op. So die manne, hulle voel hulle wil 'n bietjie vasvat reg op speel. So nee, ek kan sê hulle is opgewonder. Die manne het gesoek na die ding en hulle was baie teleurgestel op toe die besigheid af was. En COVID het vir ons gevat. Die manne het 'n paar bietjie weight opgedoen en dit was weer harde werk om weer die kilos af te skud. Selfs by my ook. Nee, maar die manne is dankbaar oor die geleentheid wat ons kry. Die manne lyk lus, my kant lyk die manne lus in die Delft rugby ding, die manne lyk lus, hulle wil so speel en is dankie vir VP. Hy is 2 weke van 'n bietjie aggressiewe bietjie besigheid. So ek kyk uit na die ander manne, respek ook vir die ander manne, maar ons berei vir ons goed voor. Ek dink ons berei vir ons goed voor. Die manne kyk uit na volgende jaar, ons hoop nou nie daar kom weer 'n knou nie. So ons kyk uit na volgende jaar en die manne is taamlik op 'n level wat hulle nou is dat hulle sien uit vir volgende jaar en hulle die fitness kom daar nou by.
Ja, ons het lang uitgesien na hierdie soos jy kan sien, die ouens, hulle is lus vir die ding. En hulle is lus vir rugby speel. En ons sien nou as gevolg van COVID kan ons nog nie so vroeg as môre met mekaar het gekom het, maar ons is bly vir dat ons by mekaar kan kom, ja. Ja, die manne was excited geweest, hulle was lus vir die ding. Ek kan vir jou ook mooi sê aan die begin van die jaar wat ons begin, toe het ons amper oor die 40 man gehad. So lus was die ouens vir die ding. En wat ons weer 'n bietjie moet gaan sit en niks doen nie toe. Soos iemand nog kan dink, die ouens weer 'n bietjie disappointed. Maar nou wat die 7's weer afkom, nou is die ouens weer lus. Nou gaan weer voorspoel weer. Ja, ons kom nou al 3 tot 4 weke nou. Vanaf wie vir ons die reg gegee om weer te begin practice en vir ons gesê ja, ons kan weer begin. Het ons mooi by mekaar gekom, lekker 15 man by mekaar. Want soos wie ons nou sê ons 15 man by mekaar wees en die ouens is lus vir die. Ons is reg, ek kan sê ons is reg as jou. Ja, dit is vir ons eintlik 'n blessing in disguise, sal ek sê. Dat ons nou weer by mekaar kan kom en nou weer met die 7's begin en dit nou net vir ons weer vir vorentoe 'n voordeel sal wees. En ek dink maar ja, soos hier klaar, dan sal ons sommer aangaan met die 15's en dan vir ons reg kry vir volgende jaar, vir 2022.
Delft getting ready for action. Good to see the excitement. Right, folks, as we said, the Score 7s is, of course, coming up starting next week, Saturday. And then, of course, also the following week, Saturday on the 13th, and then it finishes at Newlands, DHL Newlands, on the 20th of November. Of course, the teams this time around, the Score Sevens is broken into 3 different divisions with different pools playing at 3 different venues. They'll be playing at Paarl, at Forest Street, also at Goodwood, and of course also at Hamilton's Rugby Football Club. So we've got a nice big spread. All of the matches start on Saturdays at 1:30 and finish at 6 o'clock. Cape Rugby TV will be there to film some of the highlights and get our clubs behind the scenes. But let's take a look at some of the teams and the pools that they are in. The Paarl Stellenbosch pool, which plays out in Fora, sees Albions, Blakes, Paarl Rangers, Van der Stel Evergreens, Young Peoples, Young Gardens, Windmill United and Stellenbosch. And then in the Helderberg area, where we'll be playing at the Goodwood Sports Field, we see Police, Macassar, Gordons Bay Pioneers, Fora, Scottsdene, Goodwood, Hands and Hearts and Eerste Rivier. And then 2 pools from the southern suburbs and northern suburbs playing at Hamilton's. The first pool is at Hamilton's, Busy Bees, Gardens, Peninsula, Violets, Watsonia, Collegians, Caledonian Roses and Brackenfell. And the second pool playing at Hamilton's in Sea Point is Tygerberg, Rocklands, Northerns, Durbell, Delft, Atlantis, Belleville and Morning Star. Right, so Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens is up and running. Of course, starts next week on the 6th of November, next week Saturday, and then again on the 13th. And then, of course, as we said, it wraps up with the finals at Newlands. Super exciting, and we're absolutely thrilled to know that Sevens is back, especially after so much inactivity and everybody just dying to get on the field to play a bit of rugby. And we all know how much the clubs have been loving Sevens rugby. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up on the match between Kraaifontein and Belleville. Of course, they were playing over the weekend, and we managed to catch some of the scenes behind the scenes. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Right, so as you know, of course, quite a few clubs are busy playing friendlies at the moment. We've managed to catch some of the highlights with Police and Gardens and Blue Jets. And of course, coming into the party then this week, Belleville. Last week, at least, it was Kraaifontein against Belleville. Kraaifontein hosted Belleville. We went out to Kraaifontein to get some of the highlights and action behind the scenes.
Ja, dit was ons was baie excited geweest om op die veld te wees en die feit dat ons teen Bellville gespeel het, is die grootste game wat ons gehad het vanaf COVID begin het en prior to COVID was ons in Super C. So vir ons as 'n Super C span om teen 'n Super B span te speel is 'n groot eer en ons is baie gelukkig met die resultaat. Het net nie ons wy gegaan vandag nie, maar it goes like that en ek dink ons het baie goed gedoen. Ja, ons glo dat Kraaifontein 'n Super B kalibre klub is en dit is wat ons wil bereik. Ons wil uit Super C uit en terug Super B toe waar ons hoort. Ons glo en dat ons behoort in Superliga B. Dis waarvoor ons werk. Dis hoekom ons so hard werk aan die oefeninge. Dis ons band is baie, ons het 'n goeie band. Ons coaches is goed, ons komitee is uitstekend. So ons kan nie vir beter vra nie, maar dis op ons om op die veld te lewer. En ek dink ons het goed gedoen teen 'n baie groot span vandag.
Ja nee, definitief. Dit is baie lekker weer om terug op die veld te wees. Die manne geniet dit. Die fiksheid moet nou net weer inkom. Ja nee, dit is definitief baie lekker om saam met 'n beter of 'n Super B-liga span te speel en onsself te kan wys hoe sterk is ons. Ons wil graag in die ranks opklim. So ja, ons probeer so mees moontlik wedstryde vir ons span inbereken. So ja, ons sien uit na volgende jaar se 2022 wedstryd wat dit vir ons voorlê.
Yeah, I think that extra little bit of extra training time, I think it means a lot to the guys. Obviously, we're just happy to be back. I think we're fortunate, we're blessed to be playing rugby. We all know it's difficult times. We don't want to refer every time back to COVID and stuff like that. But we're happy to be back on the field. I think I'd like to say thank you for Kraaifontein for giving us the opportunity to come out to Kraaifontein to play rugby here today. I think you can't take too much out of a friendly match. It's our first game back. I believe Kraaifontein has played a couple of matches, but it was everything like a friendly should be. It was scrappy, there were chances, both teams made a couple of mistakes, but I think it was a good specimen for the people that came out. Obviously, friendlies and pre-season is an opportunity for young guys to put up their hands. I think we are fortunate that we have young players at the club. We have a lot of guys that's just finished school, 20, in the early 20s basically, and it's getting that exposure to play club rugby against first-team players, obviously using them sparingly, getting the blend right between youth and experience. I think that's important, but giving the guys the exposure and to see that if they can make it at first-team rugby. Yeah, I think the most important thing that came out of the talk after the game was momentum. We need to keep the momentum, especially in practices. You can't back down now. We've got a plan. We would like to play a couple of friendlies more. The BP7s is coming out, but the guys that's playing the 15-man game, they want to be involved. They want to play a couple of, obviously we're looking at a couple of friendlies. We're looking at teams we can play a couple of friendlies just to get that momentum right and to build into next season.
Kijk, eerstens, die mannen was so bly om vandag op die park te kom. En die ander ding is dit, jy is 'n coach, as jy weet wat jou spelers wil hê en verwag van jou af, dan is dit baie maklik. Kyk, hier by Bellville verander ons niks van ons gameplan of so aan nie. Ons stiek wat ons wil doen in 'n game. Ja, jy kan sien die kontinuïteit van die span vorentoe is daar. Want soos jy sê, die manne is al 'n gereelde tyd saam met mekaar en hulle weet wat om te verwag van mekaar af. Ja, daar was 'n klomp hakpunte in die wedstryd gewees. Ons is 'n onfikse span gewees. Kyk, Kraaiwind het al 6-7 games gespeel al. Ek dink ons het hulle gematch voor en agter. En dink my manne verdien dit. Ons soek nog een friendly vir die 30ste Oktober en daarna dan gaan ons die WP7's aanvat. En na die 7's dan soek ons nog 'n wedstryd sê die 27ste November en die laaste en die 2de Desember. Dis is 'n pre-season.
Well, it ended up being a win for Bellville Rugby Football Club, but as we said, the results don't matter. People are playing, and that's really the exciting part here, is that our clubs are busy playing rugby again. So I'm sure that Bellville are absolutely thrilled with just being back on the park. Right, folks, well, of course, as you know, on a weekly basis, we give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Score is, of course, the hot topic at the moment because it is the Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens starting next weekend. That's very exciting, running over 3 weeks, finishing at Newlands. So we're super excited about that. But if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, then all you need to do is go to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Of course, there you see the Score logo behind me right now. Every week we put a club logo on the page and we make some changes, and then we ask you to identify the logo. And every week, one of you, or many of you in fact, get it right, but every week there's one winner. And congratulations then this week to Eric Marman. Eric clearly identified the Busy Bees logo, and Eric, you are this week's winner of a case of Score energy drinks as well as a set of Cape Rugby TV masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. We'll be in touch with you on Facebook Messenger, Eric, and you can come and collect your prize. Folks, when we come back from the break, we carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking club rugby. Right, for those of you that might have missed it, Western Province Rugby were participating in the trials for the summer games, the annual summer games, which comes up at the end of the year. There's a provincial sides from various schools that then play at the end of the year as part of the sport and recreation project. So it's national teams participating, but of course they've got to go to trials first. And last week at City Park, the under-14s, at least the under-15s, boys and girls went to trials, of course sevens rugby. And to tell us a little bit more about that, we've got Azipele Manitsane on the line with us. We spoke to her last week. We thought we'd bring this to you. Azzy, welcome back. Nice to have you back on the show.
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me, and hi to everyone.
All right, you're no stranger to Cape Rugby TV now. We're getting to speak to you quite often, which is fantastic. But of course, this was a big weekend for you guys. The playoffs for the summer games.
Yeah, it was really a big weekend, JP. We had our under-15s that were playing the summer playoffs on Saturday, and then we had a big week, which was last week on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday for our under-15 girls. We were preparing them for the summer playoffs so that they trial with Poland, SWD, so that they get to be picked to go play for the school's national championship. It was really a big weekend because we had to prepare them. Some of them, they knew from this, and they've been starting from scratch. They don't even know rugby, but some they were playing previous years. But since last year, we didn't have rugby, so we couldn't find the right talent. But through the preparations, everything went well.
Azzy, so where does it all start though? How does it start for the kids? I mean, we're talking about under 15s here at school level. How does the process start? How do they get selected to be able to get to the playoffs?
Okay, JP. The 3 provinces which take us, what they do, they meet together so that they all select teams from their provinces that will present the Western Cape team. So the 3 provinces are given time to go have trials with the under 15, which they must invite all the schools to nominate their players. Once they nominate all, give it from these, then those players will play against each other. From there, then those players which are selected from the trials, they will go to play for each province, which is SWD have their own players, province have their own players, and Poland also have their team. So those 3 teams will play again, which was the summer playoffs. So they play again for the final trials. So there, and then we select the team for Western Cape.
So City Park, it was then this Saturday. You played trials, of course, but of course I think people must also know that you're playing 7s rugby format.
Yes, for the 15th summer games, it's 7s, but Dikas also have winter games, which is 15-a-sides. But for Saturday, it was 7s format for the under 15s, and they played against the other 2 provinces, which Western Province girls played against Poland, and then the second game was against SWD as well. And then they won both of their games, which we were proud of it. And then they got to be selected. And you have selectors like Lorian Johannes, which is the SA under 20 coach. So it was a good thing for them.
So you had a few celebrities there. I mean, you got some high-profile people doing selection then at the event. Were the kids excited about that?
Yes, they were really excited to even see the under 20 coach there and he's selecting them. It was an exciting thing. We wish to have more people that are in those higher levels so that these kids can look up to them.
But you also had Simne Kiwi there, your backline coach for the YTC structures, and you had Coach Brian Willemse there. I mean, you've got some high-profile Western Province seniors in the picture to help with this.
Yes, they did a lot of work during the week, which was on the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday, in preparing those girls. Most of them, they knew with 7s, they don't even know how to play 7s. Having Coach Brian, Coach Wilfred there, and Coach Simnikiwe, and another coach from Belvoir South, which is from the schools, Belvoir South Primary, they did a lot of work to help these girls get into that level.
Did they do some selection on Saturday? Do we know if we've got any players in the team?
Yes, JP, we have 3 from the boys, and we have 5 from the girls. They from different schools. We have Zakira from the girls' side, from Falls Bay side, and then we have Anita Fazi from Vusa Academy. We have Jemima from Elsis River, and we have.
Well, you don't have to go through the whole list, Azzy. We're gonna probably be busy all night if we go through the whole list, but. Clearly, what you're indicating me there is already quite a variety. We know up and unders over on the Falls Bay side, also at the NTK side. You've got Elsis River, you've got Eersterivier, and Vusa Academy, of course, which is active in Langa. So really, that you're getting a good variety. Are you, in general, Azzy, are you happy? I mean, we know we've been talking about this now for months, and we've been following women's rugby so strongly for the last few years, especially in the last 18 months. But are you happy with the growth of girls rugby and how women and girls are coming through the ranks?
Yes, JP, I'm very happy. now look like we have the under 15s. These under 15 will help us to prepare for the under 16 Western Province team for next year, and it will also help us to prepare for the YTC games as well. So the growth that is coming up now, I'm very happy with it. And these more clubs that are coming with these women's players, I'm very excited with it. And I wish next year we can grow more clubs and have more players participating in our festivals.
Is that what comes next?
And
what do they prepare for next? I mean, we know the Summer Games is in December, I think, or at the end of the year, and it's in Johannesburg. The Summer Games being hosted by the Lions. But when this is all finished, what do the girls do next? The boys and the girls, under 15s, what do they begin preparation for then? Is it then a question of getting ready for under 16s?
Yes, the preparation that they have now is for next year, which is the under 16s Western Province teams and the YTC games. For now, and also we're excited that we're gonna have sevens women's teams playing in our Score Sevens tournament. We're very excited about that as well. And then next week, Saturday, we're planning to have schools festival sevens teams so that they also get used to this and getting prepared for November sevens.
So you got schools festivals for sevens coming up. You got the Score Western Province Club Rugby sevens coming up. So there's quite a lot of sevens rugby going on. It sounds very exciting. It's a bit of a shift from 15s. But we also see some of the girls, some of the ladies apparently playing some 10s rugby.
Yes, they do. For our festivals, if they're still new in the tournaments, we let them play 10s because for them it's still difficult to get more players. So if they have a minimum players of 12 or 15, then they can play 10s. That's how we groom them to get into the 15s. We let them first play 10s, then when they're getting to have more players, then we take them to the 15 asides.
Azzy, that's fantastic stuff. It's very exciting. We're glad to see that players, especially the youngsters, are coming through the ranks and enjoying themselves playing rugby. We'll leave it at that, and we'll say thanks to you for talking to us.
Thank you too, JP, for having me. Thanks.
So great to see the success then of the under 15s as they get ready for the upcoming Summer Games later in the year. Right, folks, as you know, Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens kicks off next week. Stay tuned. We'll bring you all the highlights. We'll also follow some of the progress of the clubs in preparation for the Score Sevens. That starts off at Paarl, Forest Street, of course, Goodwood Rugby Football Club, as well as Hamilton's Rugby Football Club. All matches kick off at 1:30, finish at 6 o'clock. And yeah, super excited to see Sevens rugby back in action. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.